Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, I hope you all are having a great evening. I cannot believe tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Is anybody else absolutely stunned that this year is over? It's remarkable how fast time goes by, and that in itself will stop and make you think an awful lot about your perception of things. Anywho, so I'm excited because tonight we have a question about one of my absolute favorite topics, which is investing. If you guys follow me on Twitter or you've watched any of my non-adult related blogs, you know that I've always had a passion for business and investing. It was sparked at a really young age by my grandfather. And he taught me a lot of the basics of investing, and then from there I've read just about every book you can think of on the subject, and it's just always fascinated me. In addition to the last few years of my adult career, which has become quite extensive and also very profitable, I've always had other investments going on, different ventures, things like that. And anywho, so here's the question from Richard. He says, Mark, I enjoy your investment commentary and tweets about your stock purchases. Kudos to you on your American Airlines investment. From a guy who's been in the investment world for a long time, some of your picks are very savvy, especially with your age. Do you dabble in options, futures, or currency trading? Looking forward to your answer. Thanks, Richard. Richard, first of all, yes, the the American Airlines was a great one. It was slightly more speculative than I usually do in terms of picking stocks, but I was reasonably certain that the Department of Justice was not really attempting to block the merger based on the previous history of other airline mergers. I figured this was just an attempt to extract some concessions from the two airlines, which is exactly what it turned out to be. And that turned out to be an incredibly profitable investment for me. I bought an awful lot of it at $3 to $3.15, and I sold it for right at $13 a share. So I was very handsomely rewarded for that. You know what? That was in my opinion, that was not being truly speculative because I had pretty strong reasoning behind my decision to purchase the stock, even though it was a company that it was in bankruptcy. There were some questions as to whether the merger would really be approved, but based on my own hypothesis and then consulting with people who are far smarter than me on the subject, I did decide that the merger was likely to happen, and then of course the stock would skyrocket, which is what happened. Now, if you watch my other investing video, I talked to you about quite a few different stocks. I told you I was buying into Mosaic, and right now my Mosaic investment is up 5.6%, and I expect it to go up a lot more over the next 12 months. I expect some fluctuations in that sector of industry, but it certainly was an outstanding company that was really mispriced by the market. The same with Potash Corp, which I bought a lot of. But if you remember, I also mentioned that I was buying into WWE because it pays a very strong the wrestling company because it pays a very strong dividend, and it's also a well-run company. It's got a good balance sheet. It's consistently profitable. And it's also, of course, run for the shareholders because the McMahon family is the largest shareholder. Anyway, that one is up a cool 65%. I bought it at, let's see, $10.05 a share, and it's now selling at $16.59. So, anywho, yeah, I really enjoy investing. I think it is the absolute simplest way to make money. You use whatever income you have, invested in the best and brightest companies that our country has to offer that have strong economics, good balance sheets, and more importantly, a good track record. Hopefully, some of them that pay a good dividend. And you cannot, I don't believe, with that formula, lose money over the long run. Now, you most certainly can lose money when you're speculating in things, which options, futures, and currency trading are. There are people who are smart enough to do it, but I'm smart enough to know that I don't understand it well enough to make it profitable. Um, you know what? Currency trading and futures and commodities, I think, are quite risky. Options, maybe not as much, unless you're shorting stocks, in which case the risk is unlimited. But no, I understand the fundamentals of the way those things work, but I just don't feel that I understand them well enough to make them profitable over the long term. I have about 35 to 40 equities in my portfolio at any given time, and they're all companies that I feel are that when I purchase them, purchase stock in them, or either priced at a significant discount to what I thought they should be, like the Potash Corp and Mosaic and even IBM. Or I buy things that I think are priced fairly, but the economics of the business, the balance sheet is really strong, give me the confidence that over the course of several years, that business will grow so much that it makes it worth paying a fair price. And then over that time, you're getting a dividend anyway. So I don't dabble in options and futures or currency trading just because I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to understand it. Um, some of the stocks that I have, Apple, Arlington Investment, Anadarko Petroleum, Bank of Montreal, BP, Berkshire Class B, Budweiser, Caterpillar, McDonald's, Mosaic, Nucor, Starbucks, SodaStream, AT&T, Toronto Dominion Bank, etc. Those are companies that I can pretty much close my eyes and know will do well. It's basically investing for dummies, which is what I am. I don't have to try to time any markets. I don't have to be speculative. I don't have to hope that I'm smarter than everybody else to make it work. Those are just good companies with fantastic economics behind them and a long track record of doing well. So, I prefer the safety and security of investing in something like those companies versus the things that you described. I'm sure the professional guys like you and some of my friends are able to make money in options and currency trading and futures. But you know what? Even in the professional world, not everybody is so proficient at that. There's a handful of some of the best money managers and investment guys who can do that and make it lucrative and profitable. But a lot, over the long run, a lot of those guys don't do so well. So, Richard, thank you for giving me the chance to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics. And you should message me on Twitter and let me know who you are. I certainly enjoy getting to have a discourse with people about things like this because I'm quite passionate about it. So thanks again, and guys, if this bored you, I'm sorry, but it is one of my favorite topics. Hope you guys have a great night and a very happy and safe New Year's Eve tomorrow. If you're doing any drinking, please give somebody else the keys. Do not drink and drive. If I can just stress one thing about New Year's Eve, it's why I absolutely hate being out on the road, because there are so many people who don't have enough sense to give their damn keys up when they're too drunk to drive. Anyway, so